guys, I hope that everybody's doing good. I just got off the phone with my oldest son, and he's away at college. And I can't wait to see him. He's going to be coming this weekend for the Labor Day weekend. And yeah, I feel for those mothers that have kids that are away at college. And I was just sitting here encouraging him because, of course, as a college student, his biggest worry is money and us not being rich. We couldn't pay for his full ride to go through college. So, I just told him, son, the Lord is with you. If this is his will, the Lord will take care of everything that you need. But as a mother, of course, his worries are my worries. And so, I remember going when I was in college, that is your biggest worry is money, money, money when you're not rich, you're wondering how to pay for this and how to pay for this book and how to get through this and get through that. But, the Lord will provide. And it got me thinking the scriptures that I've been reading a lot. And Joseph, again, that story keeps coming back to me, just Joseph, and how he, endured so many troubles and how he overcame them and how the favor of the Lord was with him, even in the midst of being in prison, even in the midst of Potiphar's wife betraying him. And, his vindication and the glory that God brought him to was so wonderful. And if you guys have not read that story, I encourage you to read it. But it just brought back to me that even in the midst of your troubles, God will bring you the favor. Even in the midst of your worries and your doubts and your fears and the things that are just pressing you, you will have the favor. You can always look back at your life and even look at your life now and be thankful for so many things that are going right and the things that God is working in your favor. Even in the midst of the bigger blessings and the bigger breakthroughs and the bigger abundances that you might be waiting for, So you've just got to stay encouraged in the Lord and know that he is knitting everything together to work out for your good, and he doesn't add any trouble to it. I was thinking about Joseph while he was in prison. Even though he was in prison, and I'm sure he was tired and he was frustrated because he knew he didn't deserve to be there. He knew he deserved better. He knew he deserved to be somewhere that wasn't in prison. He was still brought the favor of the Lord, and still the prison guard wasn't watching over him. He was actually basically put second in charge to the prison guard. He wasn't even worried about anything he was doing. He was in charge of the prisoners. He was bringing encouragement to the prisoners. He was interpreting dreams. There were so many things that were going good, even though, he was in prison. He was in prison for something he didn't commit, for crime he didn't commit. Because Potiphar's wife, of course, betrayed him. And she wanted to sleep with him, but he didn't. And she made a big old lie on him, big old lie. So, it just makes me think about our troubles and our current circumstances, even though we can't see the way that God is going to vindicate us, the way that he's going to break through, the way he's going to make certain things align. We can always have the hope and the joy and the peace in knowing that he is coming through. He's going to he is knitting together the perfect plan for us. And we've just got to continue to be faithful in all that he's called us to and through right now. And we can always be thankful for the things that he's giving us, because we can always look at our lives and say, you know what, I see the favor of the Lord on this circumstance and this situation that's going on in my life. And we have food to eat, we have clothes on our back, I have a house, we have cars to drive, whatever it is that God has blessed you with. Your children are healthy, you wake up every day, the breath in your lungs, the food that you eat, everything that he blesses you with now, you can always glorify God and be thankful for, and see that that is the favor of God on your life. And knowing that the bigger picture, the bigger things, the bigger breakthroughs, the bigger blessings that we're looking forward to, he's already going to bring those too. We've just got to be faithful in what he's called us to right now. And know that we're going to have the story of Joseph, one day, that we're going to be Second in charge, we're going to have the wisdom and the discernment placed inside of us that no other man has on the land. And we're going to be able to have that abundance and that prosperity that God is looking to bless us with in the future, and that we won't have to sorrow or have any trouble for it added onto us for it. You know, in other words, we won't have to strive for it. We won't remember the troubles that we went through before. Just like Joseph said, he didn't remember the troubles he went through, and he didn't remember the sorrows he went through, and the Lord made him fruitful in the land of his land of his sorrows. That's why he named his sons Manasseh and Ephraim. And so, you know, he was still fruitful. He received a wife. He was second in charge. He was able to be governor over all of the grain. Everyone came to him in order for the grain to be sold to him. He knew what to do with the grain in order for when the famine came, he knew what to do with the grain and to store it up so that there would be enough to feed all the nations around. It didn't just say one nation. It didn't just say Egypt. It said all the nations around him came to buy grain from him, because the abundance was so great in the time when it was abundant that you couldn't count it. It was uncountable. You couldn't count the abundance. He stopped counting it. It was so great. It was so big. So you've got to look at your life in that way, that you're going to be blessed so great that you will no longer you won't be the tail. You weren't the tail anyway, but you will no longer be the tail. You'll be the head. You'll lend to many nations. You'll bless many. People will come to you to receive blessings. You know, as long as you continue to follow God and be obedient to him and follow him in obedience, you're going to see those blessings that are surpassing all blessings. You know, you're going to see them. But you've just got to be faithful in what God has called you to get through now, and be obedient. That's another big part of it. Be obedient and have faith. That's another big part of it. Having faith in God, you know, and not worrying about what he's going to get you through, and not making the abundance portion of it and the blessings portion of it and the breakthrough and the deliverance and whatever you're waiting for God for. Don't make that your idol, but know and have faith in God and trust that he's going to do it. But be faithful in what he's calling you to get through now. Learning from him, getting wisdom, getting your perseverance, because remember, perseverance has to make its perfect work in you so that you won't lack anything. So you've got to persevere. You've got to get through what it is that God is calling you to get through now in order to see those things. And even still, when you see those things, don't think the devil's going to get off of your back. He's going to be pushing even harder and more on you. So you've got to know what to do in any and all circumstances, and you've got to do it in the Lord, because the devil is all too sly. He can get in just a moment. So learning from him, growing in God, being in his word, learning what he has called you to do now in your purposes are all going to be preparing you for what's to come. So just keep on trucking, keep on going, keep on moving, keep on being obedient, and you'll get through. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.